This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, City of Hope, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, Prince Masters, Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited, and Tropical Gyros.
Try to push you over and over. Lift up your head and hold it up high. We know that we'll win the prize. Lift up your head and hold it up high. We know that we'll win the prize. Don't be discouraged by the pitfalls and their worries. Pain endure for one night, but joy cometh in the morning. And if you lose your soul, there's nothing to gain. It will be over. Lift up your head and hold it up high. We know that we'll win the prize. Lift up your head and hold it up high. We know that we'll win the prize.
We're back. We're back at you on the Friday. What's today's date? The 17th?
It is.
All right, we're back at you on the Friday, October 17th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty along with Mary Jane in your company. Right up until 6 p.m. And I'll figure out the levels in these headphones in a second. All right. Now you're going to make me sound like your boy back in the day. I ain't going to call no name because he's incarcerated right now. But could you take me up? Could you take me up in the headphone? Can you take me up?
I mean, you sound good to me, but
okay, I'm good. I'm
I think
good.
Mr. Producer, he remembered.
I'm good. We'll figure it out. If I'm tone deaf, he might have the other end
You
of the
would
show.
think, right? After 20 years of doing this radio, 20 plus years of doing this radio thing, he knows how to turn the volume up in his headphones. You got it? Perfect.
I'm good.
Awesome.
All right.
Excellent.
What's happening? It's Friday.
Nothing. Yes.
Oh, boy. Another week has come to an end. We got a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
So, obviously, we're going to open that. And we do have a special guest. We'll get to them in short order, but glad to have them back on Talking Heads. They're no stranger. And obviously, we want to hear their take on things. Always good to hear from them. But like I said, if you want to be part of the conversation and chime in, here's how.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
Text lines powered by BTC. 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Phone lines open in New Providence. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free to anyone in the Family Islands. 242-300-5720. 242-300-5720. Stream us live. Take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. All right. It's Friday. The weekend has arrived. Like I always tell you, all work and no play makes you a dull person. All play and no work makes you broke. You got to find a happy medium. Well, the weekend is part of finding a happy medium. So hopefully you find a happy medium that works for you and your budget. But make sure to stop off and love yourself at some point. And you know, it's the weekend. Pace yourself. You got to do everything on Friday. You know what I like about the weekend now, MJ?
What's that?
What I like about this weekend for the rest of the year, there is always football every night of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Lord.
Every night.
Yes, every night.
And don't
he
complain
doesn't
because
miss
you
a
and I
game.
watched the barn burner last night,
did
and you
watch
yourself
it.
admitted,
I
hey,
did
sweetie, this is a
enjoy
good
it.
one. This is a hot one.
It was a fun game last night, and yes, there's always something to do, especially now that we are in the final stages of baseball as well. Like, I don't even catch a break with these games, but I like it.
Speaking of baseball, come 5 o'clock, there's going to be a certain individual. He's already in that guy mode.
Perlissimo.
You didn't have to call his name. He
Why
needs no more
not?
encouragement. This can be another long year.
He's earned it, though.
Well, my Dodgers,
He's
know,
earned
and
it.
this and that. And no,
He's earned
what
it.
people don't understand is why I'm happy for Pearly. Pearly follows the Dodgers all year round. Pearly could tell you right now about some 19-year-old kid in the Dominican Republic pitching at 6 o'clock tonight for the
Right.
Dodgers triple, quadruple, quintuple A
Who
affiliate
in 3
satellite
years
squad.
will be the starting pitcher.
And then here he comes in 3 years. Remember I told him about he was 19? Well, he's 22 now, and he's ready to go.
Scouts.
Still in 99.
Top tier.
So I can't be mad at Purdy. Let's get to the phone lines real quick. Talking heads. Talking heads.
Hey, Naughty, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, MJ. How you
Hi,
doing,
good
MJ?
afternoon. I'm great.
Great. But Naughty, that was a nice one. You see Flacco last night?
Boy, I tell you, the icy hot ball was off the chain. 2 40-year-olds. Average combined age of the quarterbacks, 81.
Man, listen.
And career
Flacco
passing yards
showed
thrown
up,
together was like 12 miles.
And this boy only been with the team for 10 days.
But he was with Cleveland. He was familiar with the offense before with the coordinators that were there, so it was an easy fit. But he did a great job. It was a great game. And then, to hear loudmouth Steeler fans who I know who were talking a lot of smack.
Yep.
And I
Shut
told him,
them right up.
I say 221 is a lot of time, boy. Don't leave Flacco 221, and they only need a field goal. And we see how that turned out.
Yeah, Flacco showed up last night against Rodgers. That was a really, really good game. It was a nail-biter.
But
But
let me ask you another question. Call back at 5 o'clock, because you know your boy Purdy is in rare form with the Dodgers, so you got to bring him back to earth. Talk to him about Tua,
Yeah,
okay?
I'll be back.
But let me ask you a quick question. I know you were downtown. Obviously, you deal with what you deal with in the tourism sector. But how did the last couple of days with all the folks down there? Did the tourists have an impression of what's going on in the country?
Well, I mean, it's the fact of the matter is, it doesn't seem like we're moving, my friend. That's it. So I mean, the roads, we still have to deal with these roads
Oh,
on
God.
Shirley Street.
Don't talk about the road. Not just on Shirley Street, Mystery. Everywhere, bro. And they're craters.
Well, that's mostly the complaints I get. The roads on between Shirley Street and Bay Street, it's really bad. They always complaining about these Shirley Street roads. I'm telling you, it's up and down, bumps and bruises. It's crazy, and this is the financial sector,
So it need to look a lot better than that.
Yeah, it does. It really needs some improvement.
Good stuff. Well, I appreciate you chiming in. We look forward to hearing from you in the 5 o'clock. Call back for Pearly. I'm sure I look forward to hearing from you. But like I said, MJ, that was one of the stories of the week. Obviously,
You're talking about the marches
the
downtown?
marches. Obviously, we just saw Miss Wilson again, and Belinda was so
on her way
kind to
out.
be on
Yeah.
with us on Wednesday, straight
And
off of Bay Street.
I learned so
straight to the
much
studio.
from our conversation with her that day. Things that I
Correct.
didn't, understand just from, what we've been reading in the press. So, yeah, I'm so thankful that she's getting out there.
I don't know what kind of arithmetic is going on with our dime, but there's a lot of
Well, no one
data
knows.
that
No
nobody
one
knows. So that's something that screams on multiple levels where we need to address that, get the correct data in order to compensate these teachers that need to be compensated. Obviously, we need a Freedom of Information Act so that the information is readily available to Joe Public so we know what's really going on. So you can't say I did this and that and it turned out to be to the hep, to the hop, to the habit and no explanation.
I think one of the craziest narratives coming out of what's happening with the unions and the teachers and the public servants in particular that have been requesting that they get paid the money that the Prime Minister promised them is that, there are some people pushing back saying, oh, well, he did this out of the goodness of his heart. He didn't have to do this. But
How
you
you
made
can
a
do it
promise.
with the goodness out of your heart with my money, though.
Yeah. Well, that's another story. That's
That's like
another
when our son saying,
layer.
we're going to spend X, Y, and Z on pizza
Oh, we're
tonight.
going this place.
No,
like,
no, no, no,
we?
no, 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 no.
Who money you
would-
spending?
Oh, okay.
Right. So it's taxpayer money. We are clear on that.
So you're not doing me any favors.
And if you make a promise from a prime minister, though, should mean something. I think we can all agree on that.
But you know what's kind of ironic? And this kind of jumped out at me.
To his credit, Mr. Davis has said that they will get paid. The timeline is what I think is in contention right now. And then the lack of transparency around the timeline and the amounts that the person should expect. I actually think that this is not a difficult situation to clean up. I'm baffled that it's taking this long to clean up this situation, the narrative around it. You know, we keep hearing, yes, they will be paid. Then just say when. Yes, they will be paid. Then just say how much they should expect.
And again, I look at headlines that emanate, and then I look back and I say, oh, the irony. Because I just saw a headline in The Guardian from today, and it says, PM tells unions to stay away from politics.
Stay away from what? Say what? Say what?
Stay
when now?
away from politics.
Say do what now?
But oh, the irony.
Unions should stay away from politics?
Oh, the irony. August 26, 2021.
There was a whole big
And
gathering,
then,
a big press conference to announce these
PLP
deals.
signs MOU with unions.
The memorandum of understanding with the unions. That's directly linking them to,
I'm trying
particularly
to wonder
since
if-
you weren't in power.
I'm trying to wonder if the PLP administration is trying to operate on like a Mandela effect to make us think like it didn't happen, but we really know that it happened. And with no freedom of information out, we can keep the info because we can't trust you to give us a freedom of
We
information.
have long memories, I think, as Bahamians.
Let's go to the phone lines. Talking heads. Talking heads.
Hey, Naughty, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Jeff?
My brother, hey, I'm Jay. Good
Hey.
afternoon to both of you. Yeah, Naughty, I found that position kind of very strange when I heard it. You know, basically, we all know that the success of the first PLP administration came about from the labor movement, and the labor movement has been very instrumental in most, if not all, of our political seasons.
Yeah.
Noting that, first and foremost, the armed forces, i.e. the police defense force, is always the first line to start the electoral season off.
Yes.
In terms of voting. Then it comes down to the unions. That's next in line. You know, it's kind of funny that it seems as if there's a separation of the sheep and goats here, because on one hand, it seems as if those unions who is in favor is getting the benefits and stuff. At least this is the perception on the ground as of yesterday. And then you have the unions that Kingsley Ferguson and Belinda Wilson represent. They seem to have this little tension, this little pushback and everything. But it's going to be very, very interesting. We are now in election season. And it's going to be very interesting to see just how the impact of what is transpiring right in front of us today is going to have on this electoral season. The thing is, yeah, we might be another 6 months away, but remember, we must always remember, you know, impacts as it impacts people. One or two may fall away and may support, but the majority tend to stay away and not support. We need to stop these political things and give the people what they want. You already said that you have this money. Why are we still going through negotiations and trying to cross the T's and dot the I's if you said that all of that process was already completed? Pay the people their money. They want it now. Give it to them, and let's wipe the slate clean so we can move on to other things.
Yeah.
The Bahamian people have spoken on this. We are supporting them and getting their money because guess what? Today is them. Tomorrow could be us. We need to fix this problem for workers in this country.
Thank
That's
you
all I
so
have to say.
Great points,
Thank
Jeff.
you so much, Jeff.
Have a great weekend, bro. Let's get to the other calls. Talking heads. Talking heads. Talking heads.
Yes, Naughty and MJ, how you doing? It's
Hey,
Alan.
what's
Good
going on,
afternoon.
Seattle?
MJ, just going to bring you some information. This has been going on since 2009, 2014, and now. The concept that the Prime Minister, for thousands, 15, 16, 17,000 just of the workers, and one day woke up and did a calculation in his head across all of those individuals, different categories, and made a decision on what he's going to give each of them based on how long they've been to work. It's just, I'm laughing, right? But I would suggest that he catch a flight to Miami and line up at the lotto machine because he seems to have the numbers done. But essentially, the very thing that the Prime Minister is hiding is the very thing that is the Achilles heel that people need to know. Are you there?
We're listening,
Sorry,
Alan.
I dropped my phone. The Achilles heel. Yes, what happens? The Prime Minister gave us, by the way, you asked what the Prime Minister doing? Stay away from matches because he doesn't gaslight so many of us. It could be very flammable. But what has happened is that there are these these reports for the wages adjustment. The Prime Minister, when questioned about how he came up with his other decision, then tried to give us one on the upper management that there was only 1,300 of the 20,000 people. But now what is missing is the wage report for the other 17,000, and that doesn't include the temporary workers. It doesn't include the 52-week program. It doesn't include the casual workers. It doesn't include the other unclassified person. What the Prime Minister attempted is called union busting. I put to you that report is calling for significantly more payments than what is required, and the Prime Minister knows that he doesn't have the money to pay them now. He wouldn't have the money to pay significantly more. Consider this. The Prime Minister says money is not the problem. To end this, then all he has to do is tell
pay the people if it's not a problem.
I'm saying he should just tell him, press the key. So let's say it's $10 million you owe. Why would you delay paying the people now and wait 3 months when you could just do the right thing from your heart right now, today?
That's the big question.
But see, Alan,
that's the big question.
The money's not there, and the remuneration is significantly greater. And I'll end in saying this. Consider that if you consider enumeration going back whatever amount of years you want, and you may assume that you're getting a raise from today's salary, but that remuneration says that your salary should have been increased this, and this all these years. Then you must go back and recalculate what you should have been increased upon based going back those amount of time. It needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed now. And the Prime Minister, don't gaslight us. Bring us the truth, and we will done. And then the message to Sabas. Sabas, if you happen to win, don't take leadership because you have to resign in 2031 when you lose for the second term of Michael Pintat.
All right, let's go to the other call.
We haven't even gotten to that yet, the big ratification event last night.
Let's get to the last call there. Talking Heads.
We don't hate you. You're just naughty by nature.
Hey, what's going on, GNN?
Hi, Mary J.
Hey, GNN.
What's up, man?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I dead hot. But I can't say what I hot about.
Okay.
And there's a PLP call me about I brown nose because I say something about brave. They don't know there are some real men with real owners in this town. Huh?
Well, what did you say? What did you say?
Mary J, I can't
you
say
can't
that
repeat it?
He hit the button.
Oh, Lord. Okay, then don't
but
say
I
it.
didn't like it, and I tell him about his backside.
Okay, don't say it.
I tell him
then.
I know PLP, I know FNF, but I thought he was a lifelong friend of mine. I tell him I don't brown nose for nobody. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. No,
and if I got something to say, Grammy boy can say that.
And you say it to anybody, anywhere, anyhow, once you feel like you need to say it.
I like to be kind of respectful about it on the radio. But listen to me. Real talks. What do we expect, Naughty, from the Progressive Liberal Party and their administration? You all forget Sanders Day.
We have not forgotten.
No,
we have not forgotten. Yes, we have not forgotten.
Haven't forgotten Sanders. Haven't forgotten Melia.
You all forget Keith Archer, one of the best union mans in this country, where he ended up in the Progressive Liberal Party. You all forget Shane.
No, we have not forgotten
in the
those
Progressive
things.
Liberal Party.
Boy, you sharp, Nana boy. I see where you going with this.
You all forget Robert Parkinson, where he ended up basically in the Progressive Liberal Party. So what we expect from them, the way they handling unions, this Progressive Liberal Party is not the PLP of yesterday.
Good stuff, Nana boy.
Thank you so much,
You hit the nail on the
boy.
head and you ain't getting in no trouble for that. Have a great weekend. Let me check the text lines real quick, then we'll get to the break. Because we do have a special guest. Naughty, if the PM can tell the union leaders to stay away from politics, shouldn't the PM and the PLP stay away from the unions and their activities? Why are they on the labor union marches then?
Yeah, that was a mix-up. That was a big mix-up.
Good afternoon, all. I believe what Mrs. Wilson said about the PM's memory, and it has its merits.
That's another layer that we haven't even, gotten into. Because really and truly, I think the more pressing issue is the resolution to this problem.
And then some other issues that are popping up that we got to look at, too. All right, let's get to the break. Flip side of the break, we get with our special guest, Ms. Heather Hunt. We're going to have a great conversation with her.
And we got to talk about what happened last night, the big event.
Ratification.
I think I saw some of those fireworks. Did you notice the fireworks last night?
I saw a lot of fireworks. I saw plenty. I saw some wannabe DJing going on too, and a pull up and my selector and
a lot of songs. I was surprised how everybody has their own theme song.
But then when it was like everybody sang it, it was like a little dip compared to the big music. But anyway, we ain't gonna talk about that. We got that and more to talk about on the flip side of the break. Everton Blender taking us to the break. It's a Ghetto People song. It's a Friday edition of Talking Heads, fully loaded. Naughty, MJ, and our special guest on the flip side of the break, Ms. Heather Hunt. We're gonna have a great conversation. Keep it right where you got it.
All around, stop down pressure. Why you only terrorize the poor?
Some medical facilities pride themselves on offering multiple services. At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, imaging is what we do. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. Whether you need an x-ray, mammogram, CAT scan, or ultrasound, we have a team of board-certified radiologists on staff, on site, each with their own area of expertise. Results are submitted to your doctor within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Get ready for the Clifford Big Bro Riley Memorial Concert, Friday, October 17th at 7 p.m. at Bahamas Faith Ministries. It is absolutely free. Performances by Landlord, Sammy Star, Solo Maid, Antonio Roll, Mr. Black, Sherwin Gardner, Rico, Najia Seminet, Mr. J, Peter Ronks, Mr. Beats, Natasha Taylor, Oslin Jador, Iman, Aliyah Coley, Kristen Massive, Adriana Munnings, Akeem Gardner, DJ Godson, Shabak, Kingdom Mind Ministries, Apostle Henry Higgins, Young Wisdom, Monty Sweat, and the Daughters of Big Bro. Come as we reflect on the life and legacy of Clifford Big Bro Riley. See you there.
Feeding the crew? Fueling the cravings? There's something for everyone with the new KFC Fill-Up Box. Serving 6 juicy pieces of chicken, 4 buttery biscuits, crispy fries to share, and 12 premium original recipe KFC nuggets. All packed into one crave-worthy box. Not a crumb's gonna survive when the KFC box hits the table. So dig in and do whatever the crunch you want with the KFC Fill-Up Box. Only at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Closer. If you set people's teeth on edge every time you step on the brakes, it's time you visit Muffler World on Mackey Street. They can take your brake rotors off, and if there's anything left, machine them shiny. Then their technicians will install new pads, and before you know it, you'll be able to stop without people calling social service on you. They're trying to hit my car. Children in the car. Muffler World can replace the whole package, including hoses, master cylinders, and more. For first-class brake work, stop by Muffler World on Mackey Street. Open Saturdays 8 till noon.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for everything. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
It's a song for the poor in space in separation. It's a ghetto people song, only them can sing this world. It's a song for the poor in space in separation. All around,
We're back at you on the Friday, October 17th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty, along with Mary Jane, in your company, right up until 6 p.m. And, of course, our special guest, Ms. Heather Hunt, is with us, and we're glad to see her, as always, and welcome to the show again.
Happy to have you back.
Good to see you.
Great to be here. I just jamming with the ghetto people song, man. I love it.
And I know you've been through it a lot, ma'am. It's good to see you, and all things
It is.
considered, we're glad you're here and
Thank
spending
you.
some time with us and getting your perspective on things, because it's always good to have a good conversation with you. And boy, let me tell you, you look around town, boy, lots to talk about.
Lots happening in the 242.
And obviously, the main hot topic, hot button issue that everybody's talking about, and we want to talk about that and obviously some other things, but the whole situation with the unions and obviously the stance that the PM took, and here we are, again, with teachers not being paid, people feeling disgruntled. It's a dark cloud over the country. A lot of people, there are more Bahamians feeling disgruntled and displaced than they are feeling empowered and uplifted.
Yes. Well, Naughty and MJ, it's great to be here, and good afternoon, everyone. But, when it's convenient for certain politicians, right, like the PLP, the labor movement and the unions are the best thing since sliced bread, right?
Okay.
And if we go back historically, they really were the ones who came into majority rule from 1967, even before, on the backs and shoulders of the labor movement and the various riots and the taxi cab, protests and the Burma Road riots and everything that led into the great shift that, took us into majority rule and independence. And so now why, 50 years later, when, they are the ones in the hot seat, there is now a problem with people exercising their civil rights and their, constitutional rights to gather and assemble and protest. What is the issue now? Especially because, for example, just last June, the PLPs took to the streets in mass, basically taking over the Labor Day parade.
To set off their campaign.
And announced that they were using
And
the
that's what
Labor
they're
Day
doing.
parade for that purpose, to stand with workers and labor. And now, all of a sudden, so
they should stay out of politics.
I mean, it's hypocritical.
We talked about it to open the show, the whole courting and the courtship of the unions prior to the election, and now today, 2025, honeymoon long over.
I think that was over for a while now.
Not even
I think
sleeping in
that's
separate
been-
bedrooms. We one out the house and one round of A.
Yeah, one in the doghouse.
Yeah.
What do you think of the way the Prime Minister is handling the situation in general, though?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, he has to take his licks, okay? Going back just a little bit, over this whole year, this government has been bragging about how much money they have collected in VAT. There's record numbers of intake from taxes. So from early on in this year, they were saying, we're doing a great job. The tourist numbers are up. Now we have an upgrade. So now we're going to pay people. So this was months ago. You've been mismanaging people's expectations from early on in the year, right? And so now, I guess, as things happen, and people would understand, if you're not in a position to do what you foretold or even promised. But the issue is, in my view, the management of the expectation. Because if I listen to you in the budget and you say to me, hey, this is the most money any government has ever collected in the history of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
And we have a surplus projected.
And we have a surplus projected.
Then shouldn't we all be happy as citizens?
So, of course. So when you tell me I am getting something, I
think
put
that come in.
That's correct. And that's gospel.
Right.
So at some point when it became apparent that it's no longer gospel, right, in my view, that's when the managing of the expectations should have come. And so to the extent that, that failed, And now we are where we are, where there's mass protest and actually 2 weeks worth of protests by the unions. You got to take your licks, and you don't get to fly up in the face of the union and say, you can't come in my face, or,
Right.
You are in that position.
Especially when you have no data that you can use to compensate 17,000 workers that were completely overlooked. It was complete use of from middle management straight up to senior management that got compensated, but what I call the everyday line staff overlooked. That should be done as soon as possible.
Well, remember what
17,000, you all work until you'll get me all this data. I need to pay these people ASAP. I mean, you really trying to say, okay, I can pay you all in December, and you really think this won't have repercussions later on down? There's 17,000 people that are affected by this, and now you can multiply that by 3 because it's going to affect 2 other people along with them. And now here you go.
Well, see here.
Playing a very dangerous game.
Well, there is the issue again, Naughty, because at some point, okay, even last week, Naughty, even after the first protest, let's recall what the reaction was initially at the House of Assembly. Oh, well, I didn't know what this was all about. And
that kind of took me aback too. I don't know what they're protesting about. And why do they protest this?
Okay.
What's going on? Me? What did I do?
Okay, so that was the first red flag, right? So when you realize that, okay, there's something wrong here, at that very moment, even before this week's protest, you go and you sit in and you call everyone in and you say, look, where did we drop the ball? What did we do? Did we miscommunicate? Did we miss out a group? All of us in the citizenry, we're really guessing and putting together who's left out, because you hear one union saying, okay, but we accept what the PM says, but then you hear another group saying, oh, they left this grouping out completely. What about the security? What about the librarians? What about this one? So just come to the Bahamian people with a report after that first protest last week, not a national address where you showing us that you catching feelings and just coming from a defensive tone, more wherein what is needed is more of an informative tone to say, people of the Bahamas, this is why we are in this predicament. This grouping were left out, that grouping were left out. We were prepared to pay XYZ dollars that covered this amount of people. Or, like it's being reported in the news, we were prepared to pay upper management a certain amount of money. What caused the problem is that left out so many thousands of junior staff, and so now we have to go back to the drawing board. We actually have sense, and we could sit down and understand that. We may be pissed about it, but that's something that's understandable if you communicate with people.
Because you can't expect to get anything if nothing's not there. Nothing from nothing is nothing. So you got to wait until it's there.
Okay.
Oh, but when it gets there, as promised, it should be delivered.
Well, again, yes, if you communicate that it's not there and we need to do further calculations, that's one thing. But then you don't brag that this is the most money you've ever made. You're still traveling all over the world. It's clear that your priorities are not.
Unemployment at record levels, 10.8%.
Okay, and so there you go. You have a storm in a teacup because basically the chickens have come home to roost and we're pissed. So if you've given us a promise and you've given us, as in the Bahamian people, no logical explanation why you can't fulfill the promise, then you're going to have to suffer the consequences. And don't big up your gum and be defensive about it. Like, this is the time for you to be humble about it.
I think one of the things that people are looking at now, particularly with this situation, because we did have an extensive conversation with Ms. Wilson, and she, told us a lot of things that we weren't aware of, just even reading, even if you kept up to date on the news reports. There was an article in the Tribune yesterday that spoke about how the pay review warned about the wealth destruction of civil servants, and it talked about how, in this review, this study really focused on senior administrators, members of the Royal Bahamas Police and Defense Forces, Customs, Immigration, Correctional Officers, Finance, Audit, Statistical, Executive, and Administration personnel. Those would be the persons we consider a bit more senior than the members of the union that are marching and protesting on Bay Street. If the report is saying to you that, because of inflation and everything else that's been happening, that this sector of your civil servants are facing wealth destruction, then what does that look like for the small man who lives in this same country? dealing with the same inflation, dealing with the same wealth destruction, are also a part of your public service, but you didn't commission the report to examine what's happening in their lives and to make the appropriate steps to make compensation and make that information available to us.
And in my mind, wouldn't that grouping, the most vulnerable, be the ones to be dealt with first? I mean, that sounds so automatic and simple, but yet, people are saying, well, what are we arguing about? Well, the junior persons at the lower levels of scales in the service are the ones that being
more vulnerable.
And they're vulnerable, and they're the ones that are not being communicated with and told exactly what's going to happen.
I look at the tax line, it's so ironic because I was about to raise this point, but it's off the tax lines as well. So it means that folks are thinking about it. Naughty, here's a good idea. Cut all the MP's salary and pay the people, or the ministers don't have the fortitude for that. And I mean, obviously, that a lot of people have mentioned that. Like, take that salary and say, okay, we won't get paid. Pay the teachers.
Well, that's not going to happen.
You know that's not going to happen.
That is not going to happen.
I mean, that's a noble idea, but the reality is a $28,000 per year salary isn't much to cut compared to other wasteful spending. I mean, it sounds good in principle, and I know a lot,
But I look at it like this. Well, if I got to free up my salary and my little perks, I'm going to get on the phone every day and tell whoever's in finance, but you all hurry up with that report, and then it's going to be one MP doing it, two MP doing it, and before you know it, the whole cabinet call, hey, free up this report because we needs to get paid. Pay the teachers, let's keep it moving. Yeah. One way or another, we got to get it done. And sometimes you got to take the most unconventional method to get it done because we don't live in the real world. I am convinced we live in Narnia.
No, well, you just don't travel. All wheels down until.
Now, you and I both know getting no travel, that is completely off the board, Heather, because November is coming up, and guess what's in November? COP.
Yeah, but the by-election.
I got to wait because COP is in Brazil. Samba, 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 samba. Huh? He got to go take a picture with the Pele statue. Lord bless the dead, Pele. But yeah, I mean, I don't foresee anything happening anytime soon because why? All right, let's get this call. And then
we have other things.
And we got other things to talk about. Talking heads.
Special guest.
Good day, Lady MJ.
Hey, good afternoon.
And hello to Heather Hunt.
How are you?
How you do, Heather? This is Uncle Danny Rice.
Okay.
Dear God, so you didn't go to school, but you're related. Jeez. There is no one that you don't know.
That is my niece, schoolmate, and good friend, okay?
Good stuff.
Okay.
Good
Queens
stuff.
College, okay? Hello.
All right.
Look here. Naughty,
Yes, sir.
the song, Pay Me What You Owe Me. Who to sing that song? Y'all need to play that song.
That's Rihanna. That's
Okay.
Rihanna. Producer's shaking his head.
And a Bahamian one,
Oh,
too.
Bahamian one?
Yeah.
Let's get
That might be
let's-
Exuma.
Yeah.
Pay me what you owe me. That
Pay
might
me
be
what you owe
Exuma,
me.
the late Tony
Let's-
Seymour.
Let's roll that one up. Yeah.
Yeah, we can get that too. Let's go to the break with that.
Because we know that Davis, he can keep running because he's been running from me from 2006 out of Fortune Hill, and when they wanted to dig for gold, and he always promising people, but he needs to know that bringing out these people who are supposed to be super politicians, or they so-call them, don't have the cojones like Belinda Wilson, who had him running. Not only reported one event, a sporting event the day before yesterday. That's him running from the house to the car. And how much time you said that was?
Yeah, that was 40 yards from the house to the car, and he did it in 4.5. And I think for a man his age, how old is Mr. Dave now? 70-something? I mean, that's pretty darn good. Some NFL linemen don't even run a 4.5 these days. So I was very impressed, man. But we got to what's your last point, man? Because we got to get to some other things. What you got for me?
Well, I don't want the PLTs especially. Don't be disillusioned by what he promised and all the rest of that. And my cousin's in San Salvador because we got more land there than he could ever offer everybody in San Salvador. And they know that I'm the historian and knows how it goes. Okay, you all have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right, so, like I said, another topic that we got to talk about. Yeah, I'm going to go there. Heather, is it me, or am I noticing a serious man crush from the leader of the COI, Lincoln Bain, on the leader of His Majesty's loyal opposition, Mr. Michael Pintard. Because, I mean, Pintard can't move without Lincoln being there.
So you're asking me if Lincoln like man?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like man.
that way, but
I don't like man.
you didn't put it that way.
I supported the
but-
Stop Liking Man movement, and I supported all those videos back in the day.
I mean, I guess it's
MJ knows I don't like man. She can tell you I don't like man. So
I guess
mean,
it's important to figure out what's going on because a lot of people have seen the video. It's gone viral on social media. We saw the interaction with your leader, Mr. Pintard, with the leader of the Coalition of Independence, Mr. Lincoln Bain. It was not a good look.
No.
Subsequently, Mr. Bain did offer an apology.
Yes.
I don't know if he still stands on that apology because I have noticed on his feed that there, is some kind of equivocating on, whether or not Mr. Pintard should have also offered him an apology. What do you make of that whole situation, the way your leader responded and the things that the accusations put forward by Mr. Bain?
Well, I think firstly, before I even get to that question, Lincoln Bain has proven over and over again that he is a sideshow in the main show. And so everyone who was paying attention to what was happening downtown, meaning the unions, the protests, the interaction with the prime minister, the call for the leader of the country to come outside, his mad dash from the House of Assembly to his car, holding his hand to the face of Belinda Wilson, which is what we should have been paying attention to. But Mr. Bain, who needed some attention in the moment, I believe, and he's done it repeatedly.
But I think you're onto something because I saw videos of Mr. Bain getting actually rolled out by Belinda Wilson, Kingsley Ferguson, and Latrell Raman from the OPM. They're having a conversation. He rolls up trying to get into the conversation and like, hey, let him go that way. We having a conversation.
Well, that was happening all day.
I call that shame.
But if I could give you some insight, because I was there, all of the morning, right? Okay, yeah. So all of us were there, and you could see the whole day, not just Mr. Bain, but some very vocal COI persons just planted within the crowd, intentionally just egging people, and we had several interactions, and the issue was, hey, hold on, we're not getting into COIF and MPLP right now. All of us are here supporting the union. Let's take that row across the street another day. So the temperature was really, brewing for a while.
Was it?
Yeah, from early in the day. I mean, several different. I mean, I stood right in between two of them. Man, listen to saying COI, or FNM. Kill that, and then, of course, some of our folks start to get riled up, like, get from here, So how it is.
So that was happening?
Yeah, during the day.
Aware of that.
But, which is why, because I was there, I can speak to it directly, and I can say to you, I am convinced now. I mean, before it was only a suspicion, right?
Okay.
But I am absolutely convinced that, he seems to want to take every opportunity to grab attention, and I understand that he's the leader of a party, person. He has to gain ground and so forth. But he's an attention grabber, and so what he does then is look for an opportunity, either to bring attention to himself to take it away from the PLP, or I don't know how much of a conspiracy theorist you are, but I really believe he has to be doing that intentionally to take some of the heat off of the prime minister.
That's how you view it?
There's no way, in my view, he should be intentionally, because it had to be intentional, the way that the video played out. Now, who said what is a secondary thing to me, but it had to be intentional the way he came at him, when both of them should be paying attention to what Brave is doing. I mean, why are you in his face when Brave has just walked out and run past hundreds of people? And both of you should be speaking to the media about what that means in that moment.
What do you make of your leader's response in that moment?
Well, I think that his response was tame compared to what Bain said. I mean, if you go tit for tat. I mean, if you say something to me, I say something to you. I think the reality is Bain, I still think, took it to another level. And then we have to discuss now too, even conversations that you believe are quote unquote private, because Mr. Pintard didn't speak in any microphone. He didn't raise his voice the way Lincoln did for the whole of Rawson Square to hear. So technically speaking, those two men were having a, yes, very tense moment between themselves. Then if you listen to the video, Bain is the one who raised his voice and actually took things into a totally defamatory level.
And see, that's what I have a problem with, especially folks involved in politics. They will make defamatory comments like that on the drop of a dime without rhyme or reason, and boom.
But everyone,
when it's time to apologize, they're shallow, hollow apologies, not apologizing for the actual offense, which was, I slandered your name by calling you X, Y, and Z. And I've had people done it to me, Mr. Bain included. And, thank God for my wife, being mediator, because, I wanted to settle it in the food store. But we settled it here. It's been buried. But in that apology as well, too, it wasn't really addressing the issue of the offense. It was, I'm sorry for the situation. We can move on. Yeah, we can move on, but don't forget, now, don't lie on my name.
See, and there's another, if we're going to talk about it, right, let's be real. If I say you weak, right, that's a personal, I'm saying to you, Naughty, you weak. That's me saying something to you directly. Just like I said, he didn't shout it from the mountaintop, but he said that to him in his face.
And then, I got to take it either way. I either got to take the weak or I got to scan and say, okay, all right. Maybe your eyesight weak because you're wearing glasses and I don't. How about that weak? You see, and then now you got to be offended. Oh, you attacked my eyesight. But,
yeah, but he said you weak
But
too.
I like the Sally Jesse Raphael red frames too, by the way.
Right, but both of them call each other weak, right?
Correct.
So here's the point I'm making to you, right? Man to man in a conversation.
Weak on
you
weak.
could call somebody weak, I may not like it. I may be pissed that you said that to me. But what is the defamation in that, right? The issue,
That's my opinion. I think you're weak.
Right, I'm insulting you. I think you're weak. But when you up the ante now and shout at a loud voice that, you are, he called him a drug addict. That's a different level.
And when you make those kind of slanderous accusations, now, you're treading on dangerous ground.
Exactly. And so at that point, you come back and you say, oh, I apologize. But okay, what did you apologize for? You actually said something in a public domain. And what happens is with defamation, you have to do something that injures the reputation of someone. So two men calling each other weak,
You think that's just opinion and protected speech?
You know how men are, MJ.
Mm-hmm.
They could have an ego moment and, you're weak, this, you use a coward, whatever have you. That's a different story from shouting from the rooftop that you better stop this and stop that when both of you aspire to be the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. So saying something defamatory is different than just saying something insulting that may bruise your ego just in that moment.
I agree with you on that point, but I do think that there are questions surrounding the fact that, and for better or for worse, we don't have the same expectations of Mr. Bain that we do have of Mr. Pintard. Like, we don't, of majority of Bahamians, I would say, and I think I'm safe in saying, don't expect him to have the same level of gravitas nor restraint, particularly in a public setting, as we would expect of Mr. Pintard, who's been in politics a lot longer, who we hold in a high esteem, just
One
by
is
the
clearly
nature
more polished
of the
than the
way
other.
that he carries himself. So do you at least think it was a bit unfortunate that he engaged Mr. Bain at all, or do you think it was right to engage Mr. Bain in the square like that?
I don't think so at all, and I don't think Mr. Pintard, from what I read, was the one that engaged him. He was doing what he was doing. He was speaking to persons in the square,
Right.
okay? And like I told you before, I am convinced that Mr. Bain is on a mission to take away from the main show and create a side show because he's just not in the main show. And so he'll do whatever he needs to do to kick up a side show, and he did exactly that. Now, I still don't, I don't see anything wrong with what the leader said, because as far as I'm concerned, that's two men having a private exchange. The deeper question is, how is social media? I mean, you can't even have a private exchange between men without it being blasted viral.
But I mean, in all fairness, though, because there was a lot of recording going on that day because of the protest,
But they had stepped away. No, they had stepped away.
But you're in public, and there are cameras there.
I agree. No, I agree with you. And I'm saying that we shouldn't be conscious of it, MJ.
Right.
Not at all. Because
Gotcha.
you have to know that everything you do is going to be
Especially
recorded.
nowadays, yeah.
But I'm just saying, if I invite all of us to remember how it went.
Yeah.
You know, you say something basically under your breath to somebody, right?
Yeah.
Because I could say you're an idiot.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I'm talking to you.
Right.
And then you come back and say, oh, no, and you take it up a notch and you raise the volume. And that's what happened. And so that's how come even remember the backlash was so against Bain, because he's the one who, you started.
Well, I think his commentary did cross a line of decency. I mean, behaviors, we wow.
I can be honest with you, as a responsible husband and father, I don't think that either actions were condonable, in the public square because of where it is and, like you said, the gravity of the situation and who they are. It should have been handled differently. With my comedian hat on,
you
talk any smack, I can fire right back at you and I can let you know and I can pull the file and I can hit you where it counts because I look at you as a heckler now. Because see, if it was me, I'm looking at heckler in the peanut gallery. Dude, other parts of your body should be as big as your mouth. Then maybe you might be able to, and then boom.
Very interesting. I will keep you off of
I was
Rawson
talking
Square.
about feet or hands or ears or...
off of Rawson Square, because I think we know how that would have gone.
You see how fast I was finished? You see how fast I was over?
Anyway, there were bigger fireworks literally last night with the ratification event at the PLP headquarters. So when we come back from the break, we're going to talk to Heather. We want to know what she thought about the candidates that the Progressive Liberal Party has ratified and are offering. I have some thoughts, especially on Fort Charlotte.
Yeah,
that's
and listen,
my constituency.
All of my PLP friends who were calling me and telling me, boy, naughty bait. I hear you're bigging up the F&M ratifications. Wait till we unroll ours. Y'all unroll a rerun with one special guest appearance. I see nothing new here. I've seen this movie for 4 years. Now you got one special guest appearance and y'all think that can change?
It's a big movie star. What are you talking about?
But if the show sucked for the last 4 years, I don't care how many new movie stars you had. That script still sucks. The show still can suck.
You're listening to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Talking Heads with Naughty and yours truly, Mary Jane. We're going to take a quick break, but on the other side, we have our very special guest with us, Miss Heather Hansen. We're going to talk to her about a whole lot more. You guys keep it locked in.
Standing by my side, then why should I be afraid of a pestilence that crawleth by night?
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Valia, we a big deal when we touch ground. Yeah, I can see when we're pulling up. Anything for the taste what we love. Barbecue, spicy and original, flavorful, crispy, irresistible. 3-piece with the fries and a Pepsi. Go get your one big deal, stop stress me. All when we dip on the toilet, no left feet.
Anything for the taste of a juicy, crunchy, irresistible KFC big deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries and Pepsi. KFC, it's finger licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
We decided to open up the second hour. I went classics. I dug in the crate. You said sideshow so much, it reminded me of the classic from the Stylistics, the sideshow. And I think, you know what? Mr. Ben is quite the sideshow, looking for relevance. And all you young people in the car, this is what we call music. Some of you always made to songs like this. Listen up.
Where did you this, Mr. Producer? Where did you find this?
Get your tickets. I hope you will attend. It'll only cost you 50
Just a good part right here. Here we go. Let's go. Take it to the bridge, stylistics. Let's go.
What life has done to those like you and me. See the man with the broken heart. You see that he is sad.
I think Lincoln is a little bit sad for real. Didn't get the F&M seat in Pinewood. The DNA didn't work out. Now the COI, you know, ain't hitting the way he wants it to hit. People comparing him to Jim Jones and Kool-Aid. I think, you know, maybe that's why he's so bitter.
There's got to be no sadder show to see. No doubt.
All right, let's cut it right there, because guess what? Shout out to my boy Zhivago. I don't want to get into his territory. This is Friday territory right there. I'm surprised he didn't break out the classics today, you know? And you want to know where I got it? I borrowed it from Zhivago's playlist. Shameless shout out to Zhivago.
I gotcha. All righty then.
No, but it is kind of sideshow. And I look at some of the text, and people are agreeing. They're saying, Naughty, we agree. You know, that is a lot of people are thinking. A lot of people are sending me, you know, videos that have been circulated on social media. Listen, they think that it is a ploy. It is a play. That, listen, if it's something if the water's too deep for the present administration, or they got some explaining to do that they don't want to explain, let's go to the bullpen, send Lincoln in, let him cause a distraction, and on to the next one. Once it hits the back page, we can keep it moving. So I think people have to look at it for what it is. And I will say this. There are a lot of good members of the COI. I've had good conversations with members, like friends who I know for years. And they know how this thing go. And we talk about them with sense. And if I say, hey, I don't agree, they don't tell me, Naughty, you're a crackhead. They just say,
well, we would hope not.
We agree to disagree.
Can't win friends that way.
And they get it. It's like, okay, yeah, you's a cowboy, I's a commander, but that's okay. Everything cool. We still like the NFL. We can talk.
He did apologize, but I don't know. Some things hard to come back from, you know.
At the end of the day, the message can't be lost with the lead messenger. And you got a lot of people believing in that party and wanting that party to succeed and putting the effort in. And you got some good candidates too that are actually making around it and making, you know, an impression, a good impression. And
I
not
think
the
one
boy
that
impression.
because we're in Fort Charlotte, I think Daphne Johnson is the COI candidate
Correct.
in Fort Charlotte, and I think
Correct.
that, you know, I'd love to hear some of her
We need to
ideas
get her on the show
and her plans.
and chop it up.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
But then, like I said, good messages that may be tried to be delivered are lost when your leader is acting, for lack of a better word, like Boo-Boo the Fool.
Speaking of candidates, the PLP, the Progressive Liberal Party, had a big event last night at their headquarters where they ratified some 14 candidates. Heather, I have to hear your thoughts. What did you think of that event last night and the candidates that they put forward so far?
I think that they're getting ready for general elections, and so am I, and so the rest of the F&M. But that's nice for them. I don't have much more thought on their event.
Okay. He was watching the game last night.
I mean, you know, but I mean, it's clear to me that that we're getting ready and things are ramping up. And so I guess the political excitement has begun.
Yeah, I mean, elections definitely feel, you know, probably feel even closer than they are, although they are close. And you say that the Free National Movement is ready. I know that you guys are going to have another ratification event yourselves pretty soon. How's that coming along?
It's coming along. We've heard our leader say that by the end of this month, we'll have additional ratifications. And so once everyone's slate, I guess, is lined up, then you'll really see exactly how election 2026 is going to be shaping up. We didn't see many new faces yesterday. Everyone is known to us, except the new Fort Charlotte candidate. And so I guess that's one big all-star draft, right?
Right.
You know?
No, I look at it, listen, I seen this movie, no new characters except for one special guest appearance. Like if this was like a zombie movie, all the zombies done come back, and now we got a new character coming in to deal with the zombies. But basically, I know what's coming.
Right. So everyone was excited, I guess, about what was going to happen. I'm still on the wait and see. Pause, and let's see what else is in the arsenal, because that ain't it.
Let's get to the phone lines. Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Call it. You have to
Talking
turn
Heads.
on your radio.
Hey, naughty by nature, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Pumpkin Eater? Turn your radio down for me, please.
My radio down.
All right, what you got for me?
Now, you got to bring you up some more, but good afternoon for the two beautiful ladies in your man.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Yeah, naughty, I know you happy, the two beautiful ladies, hey?
I happy. My wife always with me. I'm very happy about that. And
special friend of the show.
Yeah,
Good
man.
friend of the show,
Hello,
yes.
Yeah, man.
They're intelligent too, because I be listening to them in the 4 o'clock hour. And before I get to my points, I got to compliment them because they full of good views, like the Pumpkin Eater.
There you go,
There you go,
Pumpkin
Pumpkin
Eater.
Eater. So what you got for us today?
Yeah, 2 quick points here. I listened to the president of the before I get to the president, he definitely last. That's usually. I watched the rally. I called it a little rally last night.
Mm-hmm.
It was a powerful rally.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the guys who you are talking about, who you all didn't talk about, the guy who from the Tribune.
Right.
If you all remember correctly,
You mean Robert? Now it's cool to call me the Pooch Karen. You mean him?
That's right. That's right. I like it. Remember now, I was kind of people don't know history. And these ladies could probably agree with me. You agree with me too. They used to call the Tribune the F-dump trip paper.
We remember that, yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, but I also know the Tribune to be something that was near and dear to Sadie and the Pooch. That's why they stood by, bound to swear to the dogmas of no master.
And
that means that no political party
Yep.
would influence the press, and the press would be the fourth estate and hold political parties accountable, not sell out and run for them in a political seat
Good
in a
job
family
in
island.
the past being fair and balanced.
Yeah, so that's the reason why it's powerful now. He's running. He's a good guy.
Matter of opinion on that. Matter of opinion on that.
Right. It's a matter of what?
A matter of opinion on that.
So you're excited about his candidacy?
Yeah, it's powerful. I'm not excited about him, but it's powerful because knowing the Tribune. That's why it's powerful.
No, but now it is powerful, and I'm glad you brought it up because he made a statement in the dailies that he's not going to step down in his capacity as president of the Tribune, and I think that just flies in the face of democracy. You're running for a seat.
The Constitution.
Yeah,
because,
no. Yeah, you need to step down.
You remember? Let's go back to history. Find the second point. You remember Charles Carter was in the Senate? You all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Remember Charles Carter?
And I remember Obi Westrum was a broadcaster, and when he announced that he was running, he had to stop doing his talk show on 194 because I was there.
I'm going with that. He also wanted to start at Island FM.
Right.
That's why he resigned from the Senate.
Right,
Correct.
Mr. Carter. You're correct.
And it's not just Mr. You could call me the Pooch now, conveniently, Karen. It's also Mr. Bastian. The two of them own media houses. So the two of them need to step away and distance themselves from said media houses because it flies in the face of democracy when you're dealing with an election.
And that's why I say it's powerful. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, we
now,
see what you're saying.
On my second point, I feel that Belinda got a slap in the face with an egg. You ever heard that figure of speech where you slap you in your egg with an egg?
Well,
right.
I mean, I've thrown eggs in Halloween, Pumpkin Eater. I voice some people in my time, I must confess.
It's all the way sees that. That's why I laugh, because I like what Sandra Major, so the union in Northern Grand Bahama said. Are you going to get your things? Just wait until December. My mommy and my daddy, they taught me to wait on my food. I used to be crying, I want my food. They said, why want my food? They say, wait. I want my food. So what happens when I'm ready to wait? I get spanked. You understand what I'm saying?
No, we get what you're saying, Pumpkin Eater, but don't you think that, I mean, I get the whole reference with the parents and the children, but don't you think that if you're the leader of a country and you say that people are going to get something, that you at least tell them when they're going to get it and exactly how much they're going to get?
He said it. He said it on the media. I don't know if y'all
I know before Christmas.
All the media. I have to do that.
I heard September, and then that was moved
Right.
to December before Christmas.
Right, exactly.
So if you
Before
tell me
Christmas.
you're going to feed me in September, and I patiently wait for my food in September, don't tell me it can hit the table in December, because now we got a problem. I need something to eat, and I need something to eat now. So what you serving me? The tablecloth, the cutlery, the silverware? Something got to feed, something got to eat.
Yeah, but not the dope pea soup and doughboy tastes better when you wait for it.
When you're dead hungry.
If you die of starvation waiting for it, ain't nobody can taste it. Only thing can taste it is the earthworms eating you in the graveyard.
It tastes better when you're starving, do you know?
No, while
When
the
you're
grass
starving for
growing,
it,
the
tastes-
cow starving.
Oh, Lord.
Boy, Pumpkin Eater used my boy for years without fast, but we agree to disagree on this one,
Yeah,
my
I
brother.
of course, man. I love to disagree. That would the mark you all about. I want to go to the last point here.
Go ahead, Pumpkin Eater. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know it's a big game tonight and college football.
Yeah, man, the University of Miami Hurricanes taking on the Louisville Cardinals. The Louisville Cardinals talking all that smack that they found the weaknesses in Mario Cristobal's Miami Hurricanes. Hurricanes win the game tonight despite sitting three freshmen for ducking practice and going to the club last night.
That's right. And
The
I know
Hurricanes
these
still win that football game tonight.
I know these ladies. Y'all watch football too, right?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Why do you think I married MJ? Beautiful, brainiac, brilliant, and love sports.
I want to hear from your perspective. What y'all think about that game tonight?
Listen out in a little bit when we talk sports.
Right, but
You'll hear
let me
about
just
it.
say, I go for Miami. Miami look good. Miami second place. And in closing, I say to the great president of Keith Jordan, line the way for you stop getting the eggs in your face. Have a good day, you Pumpkin Eater.
All right, Pumpkin Eater. No, but when we talk about distractions, right, I'll tell you this. This was a brilliant point that I saw today, and I'm glad Mr. Ferguson brought it up. Former Grand Bahama Airport developer, funding was in place.
Yeah.
Now we hear from the Deputy Prime Minister, we moved funding from here to there to do. No, but it was in place. See, that's why, and I appreciate the candidness and forthrightness of Mr. Ferguson to mention that and bring it up, because it was in place.
Callers, we'll get you in just 1 second. We have a lot of texters here. Let me just get a couple of these out of the way. This texter says, PLP sets the boss is the solution to the downtrodden. We will see. This texter says, Brave and the PLP then lose the next election. He could go get the boss at any other A. He disappoint me as a PLP supporter. And
He
they
done a
also
lot
say,
lately too.
this texter says, good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. Mrs. Hunt is making plenty sense. The PLP nightmare has to come to an end. BPL through the roof, inflation on food and goods. BTC just announced that prices going up next month. What? I didn't hear that.
What?
The PM needs to pay the workers and do it fast. I didn't hear about an increase at BTC. That's, oh boy. This texter says, good day all, and I believe what Ms. Wilson said about the PM memory has merit. The truth is not in the PLP, Arlukai and Grand Bahama, and the GB stalled airport. This texter says, note that whenever the PLP is on the ropes, Lincoln Bain makes a direct, unprovoked attack on Pintar to change the focus of attention. Coincidence? I think that kind of speaking to your point, Ms. Hunt. I think
So there are others out there that believe in this theory.
This texter says, this is a long one. This texter says, Naughty and MJ and Lady Heather Hunt, I encourage the F&M Parliament members to resign in November 2025 and cause a general election in the Bahamas. We want a general election and not a by-election. The COI came to Bay Street to pick trouble with the F&M leader. So back to the side, COI supporter. Selah. 2025. Okay, so what do you think of this idea? Because I know I've heard it from more than one place that perhaps we should go directly to a general election as opposed to a by-election. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, really, the remit of a general election is directly in the hands of the Prime Minister. To me, hypothesizing as to what he should or shouldn't do, almost doesn't make a lot of sense, because he's going to do what he has the constitutional power to do, right? But when you look at it from a financial position, and you go around and you listen to people and you hear what people are saying, so we know how by-elections go in the Bahamas. Millions of dollars are going to be spent, or, all roads are going to lead to one particular place. Suddenly, there's going to be special attention in one area, and everything that needs to be fixed will get fixed, which is excellent for Golden Isles. But at the same time, you can't find money to settle this particular matter, like the unions, or pay staff, or pay contractors, or actually find a way to get food and an operational kitchen in the hospital. So when you weigh the cost of a by-election against all the outstanding matters that people are really becoming in an uproar, because of, it makes sense mentally to say, you know what, there's an election very soon. Why are we going to go through all of this? But, going through all of that exercise when it's not within anyone else's power, but the prime minister, to me, really is acting futility, because he's the one who's going to call it. Now, what that reminds me, and I believe the party, but I can't speak for the next Prime Minister, Mr. Pintard, but to resolve all of these things, we know that we have fixed election dates, and the FNM was committed to it in the past. I know we didn't get it done, but taking all of this guesswork out of the elections in general is something where we need to be, because then we could actually have this conversation, because it's not just in the mind and the heart of one man.
According to the Constitution, if there were going to be a general election within the next 4 months, then they would not have to go to the by-election. They would just go to the general. But the Prime Minister did announce at the PLP event last night that we will go to a by-election in Golden Isles. Is the Free National Movement prepared to contest that seat? Do you know?
Locked and loaded. We have a ratified candidate. His name is Brian Brown. He's already been ratified. He was one of the first candidates ratified.
Brian's been on the show a couple of times, and Brian's well known in that Golden Isles constituency. And obviously, even when not in office, when not in power, he still kept his office open. He's still familiar with the folks in the Golden Isles constituency. I'm looking at Senator Pickstock, and if I'm in Golden Isles, I'm worried, people. Last time he had anything a golden attached to it, it was the Golden Yoke program, and that became the Golden Joke program, and now is the Golden Broke program, because nobody don't know where the money is. So if I were you, Golden Isles, considering his track record with the word golden, I would be very, very, very afraid.
Let's go to the phone lines. You're listening to Talking Heads. Good afternoon, caller.
Talking Heads. All right, if you held too long, call us back.
Apologies for that, caller. We have more text messages here. This texter says, the COI War Room sent me a video of Pintard allegedly cursing Bain. While I don't condone anyone's actions, I think that interaction was not diplomatic.
I heard, see, and listen, let me make a point. To the COI sycophants, if you're going to bring files, bring the whole file. Yesterday, I heard something that was totally disingenuous. A COI supporter called this show and told Pearlie the only thing that Mr. Pintard said, the only thing that Mr. Bain said to Mr. Pintard was that you were weak. The fact that everybody named Ma saw the video and heard crackhead, drug user, drug addict, and you could just sit there and bold-faced lie about it, tells me there is something wrong. There's some disconnect with the ordinary average COI follower. Because if you could just omit facts just like that to support somebody who is definitely in the wrong, then we got a Houston, we got a problem.
Caller, we're coming to you right now. This texter says, good day, MJ and Naughty. I was on the march as a nurse. Before the march, Belinda said we will have a peaceful protest. But when Mr. Bain got the mic, he said, well, I'm here in my jail clothes. If these people take the fence and go in the square and get locked up, I get in lockup also. That's why I'm wearing my jail clothes. Mr. Bain was the only one who wanted to get locked up that day. I think most of the teachers that were out there definitely wanted just a peaceful protest and an audience with the Prime Minister.
Him getting locked up comes with clicks and likes and clout on social media and dudes running in, fanning his face and patting him down and rewind and repeat. And what do we get out of it? Clicks, likes, attention for 24, 48 hours, and then the real issues that we need to talk about go completely under the radar.
This texter says, Graham, Charlotte, and MacGyver need to get that critical thinker Alan Guy, who was said to be the founder of the COI, to come back to the party, because Lincoln ain't cutting it. No lie lasts forever. This texter says, and I think this is a question for our special guest today. It says, why is Sands running away from Elizabeth, according to the Tribune? Do you know whether or not Dr. Sands will contest the Elizabeth constituency seat again?
Well, I don't know until the party makes its announcement later in the month. But, this is a time where you're going to hear a lot of things. Yesterday it was Belinda Wilson and myself, and today it's Sands, right? So, it's one of those things. So, in due course, the leader has spoken that the announcements will be made at the end of the month, and I'm not going to speak to that ahead of time. Just stay tuned. I'm sure our very able chairman will be ratified as a candidate in the next election, as I believe, with God's grace, I will.
Let's get to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads. Oh, I know what this is.
That line
Let's
has
try
an
to busy
issue.
out the line.
Okay, here's another texter. Good day, Naughty and Gas. The two candidates will mash up the F&M with their personal airwaves. Watch it happen. I think we should have an in-depth show on the ramifications of having two persons who do own media houses present themselves as candidates in the next upcoming general election. I think that deserves a whole show to itself. So we're looking forward to that next week, because you wrote extensively on it over the last couple of days.
And be sure, if you want to check it out, I know a lot of you hit me on social media because it's only exclusively on social media and on WhatsApp, but A Comics View is back. Every Friday you can check it out, get on the WhatsApp blast list, or simply just go to Facebook, follow Talking Heads on Guardian Radio on Facebook. Follow that page. It gives you updates on the show, and every Friday we'll drop A Comics View. And, be sure to check out the page and go check out the article, leave a comment. And to that texter, as long as there are members of the media that have not been compromised, and we do have a microphone in front of us, then you call this Star Wars. You call the rebellion fighting the evil empire. Call me Han Solo. Let's go.
This texter says, hi, MJ. This is a text BTC customers got yesterday, and they sent me the text. It says, BTC is giving you more value, small change. Better service, effective November 10th, 2025. There will be a price increase added to all prepaid data-only plans. All right, that there will be a slight increase.
All right, I think we got the phones lined up. Talking Heads.
Good afternoon, Mr. Naughty.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to Her Royal Highness, MJ.
You can get me in problems. Good afternoon.
And to Her Majesty, Mrs. Hunt.
Okay, good afternoon. How are you?
Okay. So hold on. I couldn't even get a Prince Naughty.
A dukedom or something.
I couldn't even get a Tyrion Lannister, highest court jester in all the land.
A Marquess or something.
Okay. Here's the thing now. Let's piggyback to the other union person for teachers, Mrs. Sandra Major, or whatever her name is, right? I listened to her intently this morning when she said, we were gifted. We were given a gift. Or we just thanking for a gift. Excuse me, you are a professional woman representing teachers. Yeah. I taught for many years, okay? And of course, Mrs. Belinda Wilson, she came into play for about 20 now, so I was represented by her as well.
Okay.
If I taught and I did my job, I was expected to be paid, eh?
Absolutely.
So why am I holding it as a gift?
Exactly, especially when
no one gave me a gift when I was teaching. I had to work for it.
No, absolutely.
The person who she represents ought to hold their head in shame. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a great weekend. And next time when you call, at least call me Prince.
Something.
Or Sir Galahad or something like that.
Count or something.
Or Lancelot. I'll take Lancelot. I can live with that.
Let's get to the other callers.
Talking Heads.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, especially to your special guest.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. I'm a little slow, but where is Orca in the entire situation in terms of a prospective candidate owning a radio station, and also what are the election rules as to how many airtime, the equal share of airtime, and so on? How does that work out?
IRCA does have rules and standards surrounding that and surrounding content as well.
And we have some friends in IRCA. I think we need to get them on the show and break it down.
And I will say this, that news yesterday just broke that Mr. Karen said that he will not be stepping down.
The Puge Karen.
Well,
Because it's cool to call him Depuch now.
Okay,
He wants to be known as Depuch
That's
conveniently
fine.
now.
I could respect that if he wants to use his full name. So, Mr. Depuch Karen just made that. I just read that yesterday. We both did. And he said that he will not be stepping down. So I'm going to give Urker a couple of days because they have to look at that situation, I'm sure. They probably are going to have a look at what's happening over at Eyewitness News as well. And
Correct.
everything
And the
owned
radio station.
by Sabas, particularly since that is a ratified candidate as opposed to Mr. Karen, who's just still seeking the nomination.
You got to buy some more chicken.
So we'll see. And then we'll also give the Tribune, as well as Eyewitness News, to tell us exactly how they plan to handle the situation. And because that's definitely in the public interest to see how they're going to deal with the fact that their owners plan to enter frontline politics and in some cases not relinquish their role, whether it's actually a day-to-day role or whether it's a role in name, but you still have certain powers that come with that name and that position. How they're going to handle that, I think we'll give them an opportunity to let us know how they're going to deal with that situation.
I wonder if that means Mr. Depuch Karen stepping, by saying no, he's not going to step down. I wonder if, that means that those allegations for years about headlines being changed late at night, in the dark of night, I wonder if those allegations
You're
will
such
continue.
a troublemaker. We'll also ask Ms.
I
Hunt
just
what her
calling
thoughts
it
are
how I
on
see
this
it.
because this is going to affect her and all of the other potential candidates.
And for years, I always used to pride myself in saying, hey, my name is Inigo Zenica Zelaya. Well, now it's Inigo Thompson Zenica Zelaya.
Yeah, you got to let them know.
Yeah, boy. Better than my grandpa can.
Lutra in the house.
Yeah,
All right,
boy.
we're going to take a quick break, and we have a very special guest with us in studio, Ms. Heather Hunt. We're going to get her thoughts on that whole potential conflict of influence that is brewing on the highway. You're listening to Talking Heads on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Keep it locked.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape, a Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken, and pork gyros to loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more, there's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations, JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. Join a dynamic group of passionate hospitality professionals, craft unforgettable moments, and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic and fun as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist. They're limitless. So are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career today and step into a world of exciting possibilities.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
What happens when your faves team up? You get an original Asiago Bacon Club. Enjoy the iconic taste of KFC's 11 herbs and spices with a bite into KFC's original recipe chicken filet, layered with Asiago cheese, crisp lettuce, tomato, bacon, our signature ranch, all on a golden brioche bun. KFC's original Asiago Bacon Club is made fresh, made right, available only at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
owe me. Pay me for my blood, water, oh, pay me. Pay me for my son and my daughter, pay me. Pay me for my blood, water, oh, pay me. Pay me for my son and my daughter, pay me. I come to collect, come to collect, come to collect everything that you owe me. Come to collect, come to collect, come to collect everything that you owe me. Come to collect, come to collect, come to collect everything that you owe me. Pay me, oh, pay me what you owe me. Pay me, oh, pay me what you owe me. Pay me for my brothers and my sisters. Pay me for my brothers and my sisters. Pay me for the tall hanging tree. Pay me for the spirit in the sea. Pay me for all of my dead. Pay me for the blood.
Hey, listen here, Mr. Producer, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. On a Friday, boy, MJ, you know what I thinking?
We're not gonna pay the
Some cold brewskis. Let's get us some Kong salad and just ride and
some
turn up to
fritters.
Tony McCann, man.
Yeah.
The old
Yeah.
bell man. What? And you know, the thing about it is, he used to be in the 60s and the 70s in New York doing Soho and doing The Village and doing
Crazy.
these like featured shows, like just him on stage and just busting off everything, beating the drums, the bongos, the guitar, everything. He was huge. Kid
Yeah.
from Exuma just ran and just the Old Bear Mountain just blew it up.
Wonderful stuff.
I mean, we had a lot of great musicians in that area. You know, when you think back up, think about it.
Yeah.
Everybody who kung fu fighting, I was a Bahamian. And then that was a Bahamian, right?
Producers say, hold on now.
Pull it up, kung
Do the
fu
fight.
fighting.
You're gonna fact
Everybody
check
was
him right
kung fu
now.
fighting. Watch
Gonna
this,
fact
right?
check him. We have a very special guest
I'm
with
the T connection
Yeah.
now. Let's
Oh,
don't
we
start
know,
there
we
now.
know, we
'cause
Shout out to the late Berkeley Van Berg.
There you go.
That's it.
We have our special guest
So
with us
many
in
others.
studio today, Miss Heather Hunt, but we did promise the callers that we would get to them before we
Let's get to the phone lines. Talking heads.
Naughty.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, Naughty. Who is the two who's the two persons who's vying to the two media house owners who's vying to be?
You got Robert. You could call me the Puge Karen now, because it's convenient. And then you got Sabas.
Okay, and both of them are on the PLT.
Correct. One ratified for Fort Charlotte, and one looking to get the nomination for Michael.
Okay.
thank
you, sir.
Thank you so much, caller.
Things that make you go,
Yeah, very interesting times that we're living in.
Yeah.
Miss
Just
Hunt,
so you know, Mr. Producer, it was Carl Douglas. Some say he was Jamaican British. Some say he was Bahamian British. I believe he had a Bahamian mummy or a Bahamian daddy and a Jamaican mummy or Jamaican daddy, and they lived in Britain. But you know the song. Keep it there, because I won't play it on the way out, because that's a classic.
Ms. Hunt, what are your thoughts on this confluence of media moguls and frontline politics? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's important that the Fourth Estate continue to maintain their position in democracy, which is to hold the government accountable, but actually just to, like the Tribune used to say and still says, they're swearing to the
they're bound to
dogmas,
swear to the dogmas of no master. When you go upstairs at Radio House, there's a huge sign. Like, that's the first thing we see
And listen,
walking up
I
those
want to say
stairs.
something. I want to say something. I know my stance, because I don't agree with the stance that Mr. DePuche Karen is taking. You need to step down if you're in a media house. That does not take away
or step back
from the countless life lessons and good memories that his grandpa, the late Sir Edion DePuche, who was a dear friend of my grandpa, Mr. K.M. Thompson, I Need a Laundry, founder of the Lions Club, they were friends. I knew Sir Edion from a little boy up until, teenage when he passed. I've known the Holm family. Mrs. Eileen Karen is somebody who I admire, not only as a brilliant lawyer, publicist, media mogul,
very well respected.
author, love her to pieces.
Yeah.
Very dear friends with my late mother and my late aunt. So I got love for the Puge clan. I do. But I think we almost family. But I think when you tight like that with people and you call yourself friends with the family, if somebody's about to make a bad decision, you should be friend enough to let them know you're about to make a bad decision. And, Mr. Maybe Robert don't get it like the Pooches get it because there's a little disconnect with Robert, but somebody got to coach him up and figure him out because sometimes, you can't be strong and wrong. You can't be bold and cold. If you're going to run, more power to it. But don't thumb your nose ahead of time saying, I'm not stepping down.
What are your thoughts?
He needs to step down.
What are your thoughts, Ms. Sand? I really want to hear.
Sure. Well, we have IRCA, first of all, right?
Right.
And they have their rules and regulations dealing with control of every entity that has an electronic communications license. So firstly, as the regulator, I am confident that they are in a position, and they do their regulations and laws give them the teeth to regulate the industry, right? So from that score, I know that IRCA can deal with any change of control. Okay, and they've done so with all, and we've had mergers in the electronic communication sector, change of control all the time. So that's something that they deal with, and they do their job efficiently. So I think, one, we give them that opportunity. But two, from the, just the general public domain perspective, we have a saying in law that says, justice shouldn't just be done, but it should be seen to be done.
Yeah.
And I can marry that in a way with this, because the same way, for example, the minute Clint Watson was announced as a potential candidate for Southern Shores for the PLP, you heard the public outcry that, it was immediate.
Right.
That, he's the general manager of ZNS and he should step down.
State-run broadcaster.
So there's an expectation from the public that persons in the media need to be seen to be independent. And so I think that's going to be a difficult task for Mr. DePuy Karen and Mr. Bastien to keep their high positions in the media in them, even though it's private media, it's not state-owned like ZNS, but the same rules apply.
Right.
And if they do not step down, they face the public backlash. And at the end of the day, they are putting themselves forward for public office. And so it's what the voters think that count. And if I were in voting for any one of them, of course I'm F&M, never would vote PLP, but the test really is with the voter. Right? And I believe the same test that they put Clint Watson through would be put to both of them.
What do you think about the Progressive Liberal Party so far? And like I said, this is like new information. We just heard Mr. Karen's, position yesterday. It was reported in the Tribune. What do you think of the Progressive Liberal Party, though, that happens to be the governing party right now, not speaking up on this particular issue as the government? Because they also have a duty to protect our democracy. They also have a duty to protect the Fourth Estate. And so far, we mum's the word from the government on this potential conflict that we're staring down.
Well, of course, they're not going to give themselves any self-inflicted wounds, right? But if we look at the actions of this government from day one, we've seen a very calculated and a very deliberate, intentional headhunting of media personalities, right? And the creation of several posts and the promotion of many popular radio personalities.
Locally and abroad.
Locally and abroad. So this gutting, if you will, started from day one. So we cannot expect, seeing what has happened the last 4 years, right? And the creation of these new social media posts, when I say post, positions all throughout government just for the purpose of public relations. There's no way that you're going to expect them now for the kettle to call the pot black. There's no way that we would ever expect that. So it's up to us and the other members of the media to draw attention to the fact that, hello, this is something that's unheard of. How in the world do you recruit? How in the world do you...
Well, the first go-round, they went after media members. The second go-round, they're going after media house owners. That you can't see the play.
Okay, well, there you go.
No more media to pick and choose from. Let's go for the owners.
And it's so interesting because Nadia asked me yesterday, preparing for a show that we're going to do next week, to look at the region to see if there were any examples that we could draw from. So far, and this, my research is incomplete, but the more likely path for them to continue that public faith is to step away from their positions. We had a situation with the U.S. general election in 2020 where Michael Bloomberg, who owns Bloomberg News, was a candidate.
Right.
Their solution.
And if Bloomberg was turned around and said, bro, I'm not stepping down, and America would have had him done in 24 hours.
In that case was to have his editorial team not report on him or his opponents. So his own paper couldn't report on him or his opponents, which some people felt was not even a strong enough position because it was akin to a gag order, even investigating him. So we definitely are in some kind of uncharted waters. So it'll be interesting to watch the public reaction and what they choose to do.
And I won't lie, I always scratch my head when I saw a certain picture right after the election of Mr. DePuch Karen, his mom, in the OPM with a pet. I was like, there's something afoot here. And because I'd never seen that in the history of me looking at that entity, that family, and how politics go in this country. They were never compromised.
I think the term is strange bedfellows. We have callers.
Shakespeare. Let's go to the phone line. Talking Heads.
Hi, good afternoon, Naughty. How are you today?
What's going on, bro?
Everything cool. Now, we
Hold on, will you manners? I got two lovely ladies in the studio. You lose your manners today.
Good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon.
All right. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I know the DePuch family well because my first job was at Eddie and DePuch right there in Oaksville.
Oh, good stuff.
And I'll say this to you. The way the F...
Oh, there's Mitch. What's going on, Mitch?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
The way the F party treated Perry DePuch.
Mitch, a.k.a. Demetrius.
What do you expect for Robert to do?
What's that?
The way the F&M party during Ingram's term treated Perry DePuch, what do you expect for that particular family to do? What do you expect for Robert to do?
Well, I mean, I expect, if you really want me to say what it is, Demetrius, I personally know that Mr. Davis extricated a member of the DePuch family years ago after a very rough situation, and it was owed. I mean, he did his job as a lawyer, and obviously I feel like that hey, favors being called in.
I think, thank you so much, caller. I think the question that's before us right now isn't about a choice of party, because I think that everyone has a right to decide whichever party they want to support. And that's not what's in question. I don't want us to, when we have this conversation about what we're talking about right now, about media and politics kind of converging, I don't want us to focus on the personalities. I think we have to more focus on the bigger picture, which is, do we want a democracy where the person that writes the laws also sets the narrative, also explains to us what those laws mean? I think there's a bigger picture at play right now. And, I don't blame or necessarily put blame on either Mr. Karen or Mr. Bastian
but
for
when
wanting.
you look at it, though, this is, with all due respect, MG, this is the Bahamas. Personalities are going to play into it. Whether you want to or not, they're going to play into it.
Absolutely, but I don't think we're talking strictly and primarily about people. We're talking about principles.
It's the principle, just like they said in Friday. It's the principality of it, Smokey. If you own a media house and you want to run in frontline politics, you need to divest yourself from said media house and have no hands-on on the day-to-day operation or the narrative of said media houses being formed.
Yeah, so no, we do wish wish all of the candidates good luck, but we're not talking about them strictly as candidates. We're talking about their influence on the narrative and whether or not we're comfortable as a democracy where we should have a clear separation between the Fourth Estate and the First Estate, if we're comfortable with the two merging in this uncharted territory that we're walking down. I think that's what's
like
in
some
play.
people have tested me. Naughty, we agree. It sets a dangerous precedent when you can control the media.
Yeah, it's
Let's go to the phone lines.
A lot of power.
Talking Heads.
Brother Naughty, how are you?
How are you?
And the wonderful MJ and Heather Hunt. How are you, Madam Heather?
Fine, thank you.
Shivago lying here.
Great to hear you.
Hi, Shivago.
Hi. That last caller, tell him don't try that, brother. Tell him don't try that. That story about the DePuch, tell him don't go there. Robin Karen and their situation has nothing to do with him. Don't do that.
Thank you.
Because the FNM did nothing to Pierre DePuch.
Thank you so much for that
Nothing.
clarification.
Pierre
Thank you so
DePuch
much.
determined a path for himself in respect of his politics, and as he had a right to do, and things fell how they fell. But tell him don't try that story, man. 9-1.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Shivago.
Shivago. Hey, did you like the shy lights that I broke off today earlier, man? Did I get some props from you for the shy lights?
Say again?
I broke off Sideshow by the Shylights earlier. Did you, or the Stylistics? Did I get props for that?
You was totally off the chain and off the books. It's all good.
All right, my brother. I appreciate that.
Right.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Have a good weekend.
And I appreciate that because, especially from persons, like I've said this before,
And see,
I like to listen to Zhivago and persons that have institutional knowledge of things that happened in the past. And I'm so happy he called in and clarified that.
And that's
just
what
now.
I like. The clarity of it is because a lot of times, like we said earlier, you get remarks thrown out, crackhead, this, and you need clarity and you need people to put it in perspective. And a lot of times you got political minions, for lack of a better word, regurgitating party rhetoric, whether it makes sense or not, because, hey, they riding for the team. And that's why we're at where we're at after 50 years.
The trolls trolling.
Talking
We have more
heads.
callers.
Good afternoon. How you all doing?
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good.
I'm just calling to basically clarify exactly what happened on Parliament Square. I was the one who actually recorded the video. I was the one who was actually in Mr. Bain and in Pintad's face when Pintad actually was the one who actually told Mr. Bain exactly what he had to tell him.
Let me ask you a quick question, though, caller. Didn't you call yesterday and speak to Pearlie about the same situation?
I beg about it?
Did you call the show yesterday and talk to Pearlie about the same situation?
What show?
This show.
No, this is my first time.
Okay, no problem. Just making sure. Go ahead.
Thank you
for
so
calling.
much. Go ahead, caller. Tell us what you would like to share with us.
Well, I was, like I said, I was the one who actually recorded the video when Pintad actually said them stuff to Mr. Bain first. About how, about his wife, personal, but his wife and what he can't do, and then he's a weak ass nigga. Oh, sorry.
Please censor yourself a little bit for us, please, caller. Go ahead.
Yes, but well, bottom line, Pintad is the one who would attack Mr. Bain first. And the thing about it, what we have to understand inside this country, Pintad is now the opposition. So why is it that the fact that Pintad is the opposition is good for these oppositions to basically say what they want to say to somebody who's now trying to become the prime minister or trying to run for the country? It's fine for everybody else to say what they want to say, but when it comes to the third party or somebody else, it's always stipulation.
Okay, 2 questions for you. I got one from Miss Hunt, and then I got one for you, too, so don't go nowhere.
I have a third.
So you got 3 to deal with before you go.
All right, hang on, caller.
Well, it really wasn't a question. I really had to make a comment, but he's making the exact point I made earlier. When 2 men are having an exchange between themselves, right? We've come to a point now when we're in this country and you have the caller himself saying that he's the one who did the video. But really and truly, that was something not for digestion for the entire country. That's 2 men saying whatever they had to say to one another. And I could call you weak or I could call you whatever because that's me and you having a conversation. I'm not shouting that from the rooftop. To my view, the reaction when it got
was disproportionate.
Was disproportionate to the initial to me. To the initial diss. So yes, I did. Yes, he dissed him. Yeah, maybe you started. So what you gonna do? I started, and you take it up to 10 notches. That's the way I looked at it.
Now, my question has 2 parts, caller. First part, you said you did the video, correct?
Yes, sir.
That encompassed the whole encounter with Mr. Bain and Mr. Pintard, correct?
Yes, sir.
You just said on national radio, on this show, which is recorded, that Mr. Pintard said that Mr. Bain was a weak N-word.
Yeah.
Now, I watched your video that you said put out, and I don't hear to that clarity of it. I hear there was words exchanged. If you have a better copy of it, I'd like you send it to Mr. Producer so I can listen to the audio for clarity's sake.
Yeah, well,
but from when I heard words were being exchanged. Now, if Mr. Pintard called Mr. Bain weak, then Mr. Bain obviously retorted. Obviously, the way he retorted was what went to the world. It's like the NBA. You elbow me in the paint, and I elbow you back, but they only catch me elbowing you back. Well, the soundbite that was caught was not professional, not becoming, showed lack of political polish and acumen. It showed that Mr. Bain lacks as a leader with that remark, and obviously, that he needs some more work in that category. And I feel that for loyal COI supporters such as yourself, because it's ringing right through, young man, and you could pull for whoever you want in this political world. I'm not at you at all. But you need somebody who's not going to lose your message when they try to deliver it. I think you have other COI candidates that do a great job, that their message is not going to get put out because it's lost with Mr. Bain. That's the first part of my thing. The second part of it is, what is the obsession with your leader, with Mr. Michael Pintard? That is a clear, overblown case of obsession. What is going on that every time Mr. Pintard moves, Mr. Bain is right there like a tick on a dog's back trying to freak himself out and cause a scene? Can you talk to that? Do you think that's a good look for your fledgling party?
Well, what I could say is, well, at the same time, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, Mr. Pintard actually walked to Mr. Bain. Mr. Bain was actually talking to the lady who was basically with her concerns, what she was talking about. Mr. Bain was ever there, so Pintard walked to him. Mr. Bain never walked to him, and Mr. Bain only basically tell Mr. Pintard about the situation when he was telling the other lady to hush up, I'm not talking to you. So he basically offended.
No, I hear you, but I just want to say this because I think we need to present, the most balanced view of the situation. We weren't there. I do respect the fact that you were there, but I can tell you I have seen video where Mr. Pintard was speaking to someone else, and he then said to a lady who interjected herself in that conversation, ma'am, he said, ma'am, I'm not speaking to you, I'm speaking to her, and then it seems that...
No, he did not say ma'am.
I've seen it.
I'm not talking to you.
I've seen the video, sir. But in any event...
At the same time, y'all need to stop being biased
Thank you so much, Colin.
And
We appreciate you.
Mr. Bain needs to step up his game and act like a political party leader instead of a clout-chasing wannabe on social media.
In the same vein, I think that situation, if we're being fair, was not going to escalate the way it did, but for the way that Mr. Bain kind of escalated it. It was, the remarks were unfortunate on both sides, but there was some clear escalation, and I think we all know who did that.
Let me just get this one in real quick before we go. Naughty and MJ and your guest. Sabaz is talking fool about young people getting opportunities. How could young people get opportunities when he is asking the government to extend the gaming license for 25 years?
25-year
moratorium. If Sabaz wants to give young people opportunities, tell the government to open the moratorium on the gambling lease for Bahamians. And Naughty, I expect you and MJ to talk more about this next week.
The moratorium, yeah, we have to discuss that if that is what's happening.
That is it. And again, you see what happens, right? When we spend the whole day talking about who call who what, right? And Sideshow Bob, we don't get to talk about this.
Sideshow Bob.
Thank you so much.
That's a good one.
We want to thank
good
you
to see
so
you,
much
and I'm
for
sure
spending
we'll see you
time
again
with
soon.
us today. We do appreciate it so much. Our special guest, Ms. Heather Hunt.
And for everybody out there, be sure to join me and Pearlie and Statboy and Mega and Leo B and Clint J and the whole crew Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio for the Press Box. Brought to you, of course, by the Island Game, Bud Light, Margaritaville PI, and Green Power. We're talking all sports. We'll have all your football rundown before the game, and I got Bud Light to give away. All right? But until then, enjoy your weekend, and whatever you pull for politically, don't end up kung fu fighting, man. Just love yourself. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll start again Monday.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then fine threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place, is your place.
There is a new king in town, and the only place to find him is at Burger King Nassau. Introducing the Cheesy Ring King, featuring 2 juicy flame grilled beef patties stacked with American cheese, crisp bacon, sweet barbecue sauce, honey mustard, and the crown jewel, 3 golden mozzarella rings served on a soft, buttery brioche bun. It's bigger, it's better, and it's cheesier. Want just cheese rings? They're available as a side too. Get the Cheesy Ring King at any of Burger King Nassau's 7 locations. Available for a limited limited time only.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.shoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.